Hi, it's me, Phoenix. I didn't do a live yesterday. Actually, the last couple days, yesterday and the day before, I I don't know, there's been a lot. I've been feeling at low ebb in my body, in my mind, and I'm not sure. I was sleeping a lot more. I didn't feel like I had my regular sparkle. I was starting to doubt myself. Um, I was even critical of my other videos that I did. Just wondering, like, I don't know, um, processing, I guess. And I call it, those kind of days I've called before contrast days, where it's comparing, it's almost like, um, you have to have, you know how people say you have to have the night sky to be able to see the stars? It's almost like that is with me, how with me. Like I have a good amount of energy and everything's great and I believe the promises of God and I'm assimilating all the information and then my body just wants to stop and resist. So I'm not sure if it's a mini wilderness season or what, but that's just the way it has been. I think as I expand and grow, maybe those days will be less occurring. I'm not sure. I do know when you grow things, there's a time of waiting, a time beneath the surface, that before you see the growth come above the soil. So it's almost like that too for me. So I didn't do a live yesterday. I actually didn't do my 21-day challenge for yesterday and the day before. I just it's like I needed space and time, just let go. I started to wonder, if it was enemy attack or there might have been a little bit that I felt today, I knew today that I needed to get going again. So I went to bed early last night. I actually slept before bedtime and I got a lot of sleep, a lot of extra sleep, and back today with a renewed heart and mind and new commitment. So when I get in these contrast days, I like to go back and look at things from my past, specifically my old journals, and see what comes up. If there's anything I can learn from where I've been. Because like I said, it's a contrast day. So I contrast um where I've been, where I am, where I want to be. So I lean into that. Um I don't shoo away the darkness. I just look in it and try to bring some light to the darkness to see if there's something that I need to learn or integrate to grow. So I did that and I was looking through my journal and it reminded me of a few different things. I had Psalm 30 came into my mind. So this is a story. I was I have mentioned before that I've been in prison. Well, one time I got called down and said, "Hey, you're going to court. You're going to your hometown. You're going to court." I'm like, "Well, I don't think I'm supposed to go to court. Like, I'm pretty sure." So I phoned my lawyer to say, like, "Hey, like, do you know anything about me going to court?" Had no record of it. So I'm like, "Okay, I will just go with it. I'll see. I'll see what this is about." I said, "God, are there any verses that I need to know?" And the one that came to my mind was Psalm 30. And now I'm not a person who really memorizes verses all the time, but part of, I guess, my spiritual gift, God gives me words, like literal words, and God said inside me Psalm 30. So I looked it up, and the part that I read again today that kind of hit home was Okay, so Psalm 30, um, middle-aged eyes. Psalm 36 and 7, and this is in the Passion Translation. It says, I remember boasting, I've got it made. Nothing can stop me now. I'm God's favored one. He's made me steady as a mountain. But then suddenly you hid your face from me. I was panic stricken and became depressed. So that is what I noticed today when I read it. I was thinking I've been riding high on, you know, the challenges and the 818 training and thinking, you know what, I've got this. This is great. Thank you, God. And then I have this slow ebb and the contrast of it, and then part of my rational mind that the enemy likes to jump on. Oh, you've been here before. Oh, you're not whatever. You're not a child of God. You're not um just these thoughts in my mind that I could give into, but I recognize that I'm like, no way, enemy, not gonna happen. No way. I know the promises of God. So the part about that was there was a part where he hid his face from me. You hid your face from me. And it talked about a mountain. And then, so the second part of the story was I went to court, I went to the remand. I faced a lot of things there. Um, Someone wanted to beat me up. I saw people that were just really struggling, really, really struggling. And I realized in that moment how far I'd come too, right? Like I was just waiting for the guards. I was polite to them. I was respectful. I said, you know, um, at one time I would have been just really, really in knots, like weeping and anxious, but I knew going into it that I was going to trust God, that I trusted the Lord, and there was a reason for me being there. Okay, a reason. So I went there, and one of the ladies there, after this person was going to beat me up, they put me in a different cell with this lady, and she said, "Hey, I'm a Christian. I have a word for you." Yeah, she had a word for me in jail, right? And the word, she read it out of the Bible, and it was Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54. So, and the promise is enlarge your, well, this is a different translation. This is New Living, but it says, enlarge your house, build an addition, spread out your home, and spare no expense. For you will soon be bursting at the seams. Your descendants will occupy other nations and resettle the ruined cities. So, um, fear not, you will no longer live in shame. Don't be afraid, there is no more disgrace for you. You will no longer remember the shame of your youth. And then, yeah, for a brief moment I abandoned you. And in the other translation, it said I hid my face from you. But with great compassion, I will take you back. Oh, yeah, in a burst of anger, I turned from my face away for a little while. So, and I think also in there's something about a mountain. So, it was so interesting. I went there and I had this verse in my mind that was like my prayer to God. And then God answered it through another person in the most unlikely of places, right? The most unlikely of places, reminding me of the promises. And now with the 18 challenge, and he talked about enlarging your tent. That was one of the foundational verses. And I'm like, okay, yeah, God, I remember the promises. I remember. You're reminding me of the promises. And it's so interesting to me. I'm trying to find another thing that I had. There is I don't know where I put it, but another journal that I found. I had written down quotes, and it was like, oh, I wish I could find it. Um, Sometimes here, just like I think I found it. Okay, so I was reading books in prison. I read a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And two different quotes. There was one from Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I love her books. But there was this quote that I wrote down. It says, "You're a bird who's been in a cage all your life, and suddenly all the walls are gone, and you're in the wide open. You're so afraid, you're looking for any way back into the cage again." So there's that quote. Then there's another contrast verse. It was in a TV show. After I read that, it says, "Whatever you choose to think now, it's not safer there. Even if you tried to go back now, I don't think you could survive that way again." That is so true. I think about where I was, how scared, how frightened, oh, I was just, what's the word? Searching, trying out so many different things. And it wasn't filling me up. It wasn't making me happy. So if I think about now, this opportunity I have that God has given me, put the people around me, the circumstances, the doors are open. All I need to do is step through and believe and trust in God, right? And I am doing that. I am. You know what? This contrast day has worked. It's really made me realize I don't want to go back to where I was. I don't. I have the, all these great people, these great teachings, you know, and there's a part in here again, Psalm 30. Okay. So it talks about how I cried out to you, Lord. What would you gain in my death if I were to go down to the depths of darkness? So hear me now, Lord, show your famous mercy. Oh God, be my savior and rescue me. Okay, so then he broke through and transformed all my wailing into a whirling dance of ecstatic praise. He has torn the veil and lifted from me the sad heaviness of mourning. He wrapped me up in the glory garments of gladness. How could I be silent when it's time to praise you? Now my heart sings out loud, bursting with joy, a bliss inside that keeps me singing. I can never, ever thank you enough. Oh, yeah, it's true. I can never thank God enough. Words are not enough. I am so grateful, so thankful, and he gave me the promises of God, the promises of God. And so now this is a really long video, very long, and if you get through it, I thank you so much. But I just wanted to say that there was another poem I wrote when I was in the middle of wilderness, and I actually read it out at parole. And it goes like this: Lord, please help them see that within me is a strong woman ready to break free. My heart is open, my mind is ready to take small steps, slow and steady. I will do it. You will see. I will become the person I am meant to be. Fulfill my purpose. Give back to the world. Make it better for all concerned. Learn from the past. Live fully in the present. Lay a foundation for a better future. Head and heart working together. A choice in each moment on the road to forever. Creative, intelligent, spiritual, a great mother too. Full of compassion and humor, a powerful you. A woman with passion, courage, and grace. I see this, I see her face clearly. This woman is me. Thank you. Keep blooming in him. And you are also this person. I see it for you. I see it. I see you fulfilling your passion and your purpose on this world. And let's do it together. Let's do it together. Rise up together. Keep blooming in him. Love you. Bye.